Hello, welcome back to the VDC space. Today we're gonna be doing a bridge bearing. So we're gonna just do a basic bridge bearing that involves concrete plinth and a chamfer, two plates, and also epoxy, which is made up of concrete. Before I get started, I would like to ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel if you are new. And if you are already subscribed, hit that notification button as I upload Revit and BIM modeling tutorials 3 times every week. Now, without further ado, let's jump into Revit. So here we are in Revit 23. As you guys remember, the last time we did a tutorial on the uh, bases, piles, pier shafts, and pier caps. So this time we're gonna do a bridge bearing. Now, if you missed this tutorial, please you can scroll through my channel. You will come across this tutorial. But otherwise, I will also put the link in the description for this tutorial that we did. Now, for our bridge bearings, we're gonna use family templates for foundation. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna open up this project if you saved it. So you're gonna go to pier head. So this is our pier head floor plan, and then the next thing you're gonna do is go to file, new, family, and then you're gonna drop down and then go to matrix structural foundation and say open. And now we are in the floor plan. So the first thing you're going to do, so you're going to go to elevation, the front elevation, and then you're going to randomly place two reference planes like so. The first one, you're going to offset it by 450 millimeters. The second one, you're going to offset it from the first reference plane by 50 millimeters. So this is going to be our chamfer. This is going to be our concrete plane. Now, the next thing we're going to do is go to the reference level, go to create, and then extrusion. And then you're going to randomly place a square like this. And then you're going to offset it from the middle reference plane by 700 millimeters. You're going to do the same thing this side. So the total is going to be 1,400. And then you're going to do the same thing this side. It's going to be 700. And then this side is going to be 1,400. Then go to finish. Front elevation, you're going to drag it upwards until it meets the first reference plane. Now we have our concrete plane. Now for our chamfer, it's going to be sloping in the sides. And in order for us to do that, we have to create a swept blend. What is a swept blend? A swept blend is a very versatile tool whereby you can use two different profiles in order to model your geometry with the guidance of a path, which is a sketch path. Let's see what I am talking about. So you're going to go to swept blend, and as you can see, there's a little demonstration there on how it's applied. So I'm going to go to swept blend, and then the first thing you're going to do, remember we are still on the front elevation, go to sketch path, and then set your reference plane to center, front or back. You're going to select it, okay. And then you're going to sketch your path right in the middle until it meets the top the top reference plane. Escape and then finish. And then for your first profile is the one where you started placing your path. So it's going to be this one. So select profile one, edit profile, and then it's going to take you to your floor plan reference level. So you're going to say open, and then you're going to place your rectangle by using this concrete plinth as your reference. So you're going to place it like this. Escape, finish, and then select profile 2. You're going to say edit, and then you're going to place your rectangle like so. But this time, in order for us to get that sloping sides, we're going to offset it by 100 from this uh, 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 from the exterior of the concrete plane. So you're gonna offset it by 100, by 50 actually. So it's gonna be 50 millimeters. So it's going to be 50. So it's going to be 50 also this side. And then open up your 3D view and say finish, and then finish again. So this is what you have. Let me just change the level of detail. And then I'm going to select the two of these and then go to material and then change this to concrete, cast in place concrete. Under properties, go to family types and then structural material. I'm going to change this to concrete, cast in place concrete, apply, okay. And now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to join this. So select one and say go to join, select one and then join it with this. And then I'm going to say load into our project. So I'm going to save this as uh, concrete, concrete plinth and chamfer. Save, and then I'm gonna load it into our project. So I'm gonna randomly place it on top of our pier cap like so. Then go to your 3D view. This is what we have. So I'm gonna select it, go back to our pier head floor plan, and then go to mirror pick axis, and then pick the middle this middle grid, and then it's copied to the other side and say and see this is what we have. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna place our epoxy. So what is an epoxy? Epoxy is sort of like a concrete material that is used on bridge bearings. So in order for us to do it in Revit, we are going to use the same foundation template as the one we used for our plinth and our chamfer. So go to file again, new, family, scroll down and then go to metric structural foundation. And our epoxy, it's almost the same as our chamfer. So it's going to be sloping on the sides, and then it's going to be 50 millimeters thick. So go to your front elevation and then randomly place your reference plane and then offset it from the lower reference plane by 50 millimeters. Enter. And then we're going to use a swept blend like we did before. So go to create, swept blend, sketch path, and then set your reference to reference plane, center, front or back, okay, and then you're gonna place it like this. So our profile one is gonna be based here, our profile two is gonna be based here. So finish, and then select profile one, edit profile, go to a floor plan, reference plane, open view, and then randomly place a rectangle like so, and then you're gonna adjust the parameters. So you're gonna select the side, and then you're gonna offset it from this center reference plane by it's going to be 1300 divided by 2, which is 650, and then the total is going to be 1300. So it's going to be the same thing this side, it's going to be 650, and then the total is going to be 1300 millimeters. Perfect. Finish. Select the second profile, edit profile, and then you're gonna place your square like so, randomly like so, and then you're gonna offset it from the center by 1250 divided by 2, which is 625, and then do the same thing this side. So it's gonna be 1250, and then this side is gonna be 625, and then the total is gonna be 1250, and then finish, and then go to your 3D view. So this is your epoxy. So you're gonna say select it and then go to material and then type epoxy. And as you can see, we have different options. So I'm gonna select this one, epoxy resin, or I'm gonna select this one. This yeah, this one, epoxy, apply, okay, and then go to properties, family types, and then select the material, epoxy resin, okay, apply, okay, and then load it into our project. So I'm gonna save this as epoxy, and then save it, and then I'm gonna place it on top of our concrete paint and chamfer. then go to your 3D view. And then as you can see, obviously we can't see it. If I go to wireframe, and then when I select these epoxy, I'm gonna have to offset it. So let me say 500, then change this to shaded. And as you can see, I offset it by 500 because remember, the height of our plinth and our chamfer is 500. So this is what we have. Now the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna place our plate, and the first plate we're gonna place is 1,200, 250 in diameter. So I'm gonna go to pier head, and then I'm gonna go to structure. Actually, I'm gonna go to steel, and then under fabrication elements, I'm gonna go to plate. So under plate, I'm gonna select the circle option, and then I'm gonna place it right in the middle, and then uh, I'm gonna make the radius. It's gonna be equals to 1,000. As it's gonna be 625. Perfect. And now I'm gonna say finish, and then go to your 3D view, and then I'm gonna have to offset it. So I'm gonna go to the south elevation, and then change this to wireframe so I can see everything. And then remember, for our plates, in order for you to see them, you have to change this level of detail to fine. So, and then I'm gonna grab my plate, and then I'm gonna drag it upwards until it's on the top of our epoxy. And then I'm gonna have to change the thickness. The thickness is gonna be 105. Remember, guys, change the level of detail to fine. Otherwise, let me just show you an example. If you change it to coarse, it disappears. If you change it to medium, it's still not showing. If you change it to fine, it's gonna show up. So level of detail is important, not only in modeling, but when it comes to BIM. When you come up with your own BIM execution plan, you have to, and you scope your project, you have to tell your clients what level of detail are you going to model. So it's very important on the basis of how you can deliver your models and how heavy they can be. So yeah, we'll cover those topics as time goes on. So let's continue. And now we have our plate. So I'm going to select it, and then go to peer head floor plan, and then go to mirror pick axis, and then pick this grid, and then it's copied to the other side. So I'm going to place another plate which is 40 millimeter thick. So go to peer head, and I'm gonna say plate, and then I'm gonna say circle, and then place it right in the middle. So our radius is gonna be 600, and then I'm gonna say finish, and then go to your south elevation. And as you can see, this is our plate. So I'm gonna drag it upwards until it's placed on top of this plate, and then change the thickness to 40 millimeters. To your 3D view, this is what we have. I'm gonna select it, go to peer head floor plan, mirror pick axis, and then pick this middle grid, and now it's copied to the other side. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to place another plate which is much larger than these two. So go to peer head again, and then under fabrication elements, plate, I'm going to pick the circle again, place it in the middle, and then the radius is going to be equals to 1,450 divided by 2. It's going to be 725. And then I'm going to say finish, go to your south elevation. I'm going to drag it upwards, and then it's placed on the other two plates. And then the thickness is going to be 60 meters. And then while it's selected, go to mirror pick axis, and then select this middle grid, and then it's copied to the other side. So go to your 3D view. This is what we have. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to place another concrete epoxy. In order for us to do that, we're going to go back to our structural foundation family template and then generate another epoxy. So go to File, New, Family, drop down, go to Metric Structural Foundation, open, and then go to your front elevation, place your reference plane randomly, and then select it, and then make sure it's offset by 50 millimeter from the lower reference plane. And then create swept blend, sketch your path, set your reference to center, front, or back. Okay, and then place your path, exit, finish. Select your number one profile, which is at the bottom. Edit profile, go to your floor plan, reference plan, open view, and then you're gonna say randomly place your rectangle or square, and then from the middle vertical reference plane, you're gonna offset it by what is it, 1,450 divided by 2, which is 725, and then the total is going to be 1,450. Then you're going to do the same thing this side. So it's going to be 725, and then the total is going to be 1,450. Perfect. And then you're going to say finish, and then select the second profile, edit. And then you're gonna randomly place your rectangle, and then you're gonna offset it from this vertical reference plane by equals to 1,550 divided by 2. Okay, and then the total is gonna be 1,550. You're gonna do the same thing this side. It's gonna be 1,550 divided by 2 from the middle, and then the total is going to be 1,550. And then go open up your 3D view just to see the other perspective, and then say finish, and then finish again, and then apply a material to this concrete cast in place. Okay, under properties, go to family types, apply your material. Okay, apply. Okay, change the level of detail, and as you can see, this is our epoxy that's gonna go on top. And then load into your project. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna call it epoxy 2, save, and then go to your pier head floor plan, and then go to structure. Remember, you used the foundation, so I'm gonna say isolated, and then place our epoxy 2 on top like so. And then remember, we have to offset it, so I'm gonna offset it by going to the south elevation, and then control select the two of them, and then move them upwards like so. And then as you can see on our 3D view, this is our bridge bearing. So we have 3 plates, we have 2 epoxies, we have a chamfer and a concrete plinth. So yeah, I hope you guys have learned something, and I hope you can apply it on your next project. It's just the logic on how you can approach different elements of bridges. So that is my logic. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you can tune in on the next tutorials. I have more in my arsenal. So I hope you guys will subscribe, like, and comment. If I did bad, criticize. If I did good, comment. Remember, BIM is people, policy, software, and integration. I'll see you next time. Peace.